Hello, welcome everyone to Nerds in a Box, episode 10. It is episode 10. Welcome. If you're seeing us for the first time, thank you for joining us. I'm John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
Nerds in a Box, we do this every week. We do a podcast on various topics. We've done video games, movies, comic book news, comic book events.
Cosplay stuff.
Thank you,
Yes.
cosplay, thank you. I was like, we've done so much more, but now I'm drawing a blank. So, that's because we're doing a little bit of everything in tonight's episode. So, let's get things started right away. The Avengers trailer.
What?
Came out on Wednesday.
It was leaked by Hydra.
It was
Yes.
leaked by Hydra.
Marvel, very smart on their part. They're like, oh man, Hydra leaked our footage. I'm like, that's beautiful. It's just like, it wasn't supposed to come out until what, next week?
It was
And
not
the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode.
Yeah.
Yep, this Tuesday's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which actually, fear not, because they're showing another clip.
Mhm.
They're debuting another clip from Avengers Age of Ultron so that people will still tune in to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I hope they do. I know it needs the ratings. So, yeah, that was a big thing. It got leaked, and initially they tried to, take it down, but then everyone reported it. It's just like, alright, well, we can't stop this one. We might as well just lean into...
Roll with it.
Yeah, we might as well, lean into it, the tilt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tilter.
Yeah, exactly. So, they released an HD trailer, and it looks beautiful. A lot of things in that. It's like a 2-minute, 17-second trailer, so surprisingly long for a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's not a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
That is a full-length trailer.
I'm not complaining, but there's a lot of elements in it that people are dissecting from the trailers. For instance, at one point we see Cap walking through a ballroom surrounded by
clearly
people.
1940s.
Yep,
Yeah.
surrounded by people wearing 1940s clothing. A lot of people are wondering if he goes back in time, or if it's a hallucination, or if it's a flashback.
Or if it's like Wanda's reality warping powers.
Yep.
And it's also there's that part with the ballet with Black Widow. Is that her remembering things,
Yep.
or is that another Wanda thing? There's also speculation you were saying about
Yeah.
the shield.
About Captain America's shield, because at one point in the trailer you see, it pans over and you see Thor's hand, and then right next to it is Cap's shield, and it's broken. It's broken in half, and so people are wondering if that's going to be the link to Wakanda, because for those of you that don't know, Black Panther rules Wakanda. That's where you find the vibranium, and that's what he uses all his equipment
And
with.
he's the only one who can fix Cap's shield. He's the only one with the knowledge and the resources to do it. So if it actually happens in the movie, they'll have to go to Wakanda, at least at some point.
Exactly.
Which is also the theory of Andy Serkis playing Claw in there.
Yes.
Ulysses Claw. I don't think he starts out with the
No.
thing, but he's a big vibranium expert and tries to steal it from Wakanda
Yep.
several times. And then there's that one scene, we were trying to figure this out earlier, because it's when that first Iron Man piece starts to come alive,
Yeah.
and there's a close-up shot, but then there's a backup one, and there's two women. You can see Natasha, and then there's two other women who you can't really tell who they are. And so we're wondering if that's Maria Hill and Wanda, or if that's two other characters that they just haven't announced.
Yeah.
Two female characters.
Is that Carol Danvers in there? Somebody tell me now before I faint.
Ooh.
But it's probably
I
not.
love
It's
that.
probably Maria and somebody else that we already know. And it's not Natalie Portman, because she's so tiny that you could tell if it was her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
There's also been literally no talk of her being in the movie at all.
and it's not even listed on IMDb, so it might just be crazy hush hush right now, whoever they are.
I do kind of wish you could be in one of the movies, in one of the Avengers movies, because I'm tired of it being oh, we hit her.
Mm-hmm.
And then, they deal with that in, Thor 3. Ugh.
I mean, I see her, like I mentioned before, being in one of the Guardians movies. I could imagine them starting, they introduce swords somehow somewhere else, and then, for some reason or another, the Guardians decide to come to Earth. But they're greeted by
Jane
sword.
Foster.
Exactly.
That'd be interesting.
Awesome.
Also, good on Disney and Marvel for incorporating
Oh,
Pinocchio's I've Got No Strings.
that
in
was so
Well,
great.
see, 'cause I
Yeah,
thought it was just
super
the
creepy.
line, but Dan pointed out the song is actually in the
Super creepy.
It plays through at the beginning, then there's a pause before the final line, and that's when Hulkbuster gets revealed. All of the action really starts,
Yeah.
and then at the very end, I've got no strings on me. I was like, ah. They're definitely showcasing the fact that each character is going to get their own showcase, rather than like in the last one, it was very much look at these people come together as a team, which was beautiful, and I loved it, and that was necessary. However, in this one, they're like, all right, so you guys were complaining a little bit about people not being showcased enough. We're going to showcase everybody the amount that you want.
Well, that was like the number 2 things was like not enough Banner and Hulk, and well, not enough Hulk really, and then not enough Clint. And so that's what like we saw way more like Clint and the Hulk than I feel like we saw Cap or Iron Man. There's barely, except for the Hulkbuster, there's not much Iron Man in this movie at all.
I don't know.
That'd be great.
But anyways, moving on. Constantine.
Yes.
It premiered Friday night to 4.3 million viewers, which is actually surprisingly good for a Friday at 9 o'clock?
Yeah, I
on
think it's
NBC.
Yeah.
Like that's surprisingly good.
They didn't have as much money as they wanted. You can tell right off the bat. Like the effects aren't even for TV. Some of the effects were just like, okay. Which, I can get over because it's their first episode and whatever. They might not have had all the money they wanted for the first batch. But it was the writing that really got to me. Everyone's written kind of flat and bland.
Ew.
Like, Constantine is supposed to be this really colorful character, and I still don't understand why he can't smoke. Because he's got a lighter the whole time that he's playing with.
Yeah.
Which I guess is supposed to signify that he quit, or maybe he's just got a
habit?
Or like he likes fire or something. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. But it's there. I guess maybe as a tribute to those people who want to see him smoke. I don't know. And
I feel like that's a worse almost.
Yeah.
But like you're right there.
I could be doing this right now, but I'm not. But yeah, it's... And the girl, I already forgot her name because she was so bland. But her writing is just, I couldn't even blame the actress because I was just like,
wooden.
nobody could make this okay.
It's wooden.
Yeah, it's very wooden. It's very bland. Her powers are really cool. She can scry, like see, like bad stuff that's gonna happen, and she can see dark spirits and all this stuff. And it's just a big exposition fest. But instead of doing show don't tell, it's a lot of talking. You don't know enough about like the extraneous characters. Like Chaz is like his sidekick who apparently can't die. He gets like stabbed through with a power line, and he still lives. So there's something going on with him. We don't know. And then there's this angel. That's what people's main complaint was. His wings, they do look awful.
I'm sorry. I don't care how much money you guys have. I have never seen good CGI wings. Especially like when people start flying and stuff, they do like the weird like they lift up like one leg, so it's kind of like bent, and they're like, "I'm flying."
Supernatural does this really interesting thing where you can't see the wings on the angels until they die, and then they're like black shadows on the ground. Which I feel like even if they can't, even while they're alive, they could be like shadowy or like just not super corporeal. Like maybe humans can't see them or something. Yeah. I feel like they could have done. Also, he has these really annoying contacts that you can't see his eyeballs. And that was kind of awful. It's like, yeah, he's got these like bright yellow contacts, and it just threw you off. It's just kind of, it rolls. It doesn't take off, kind of a deal.
But again, that was the first episode. My opinion, if you don't like the first episode, give it 2 more episodes just to see if it grows.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm planning on watching at least 3. I just need to get to it.
Well, speaking of best things ever, Super Smash Brothers.
Oh my god!
Nintendo had their Nintendo Direct this past Friday, and they had 50 must-see things for the new Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U.
We're not going to cover all 50.
We're not going to cover all 50, even though there's 53. But we're not going to cover all those. We're covering the main ones that are really important. And it's going to be so Game of the Year. It's going to be Game of the Year. I'm calling it right now.
I would not be surprised.
So, first big news.
Oh my god.
8-player Smash. We're going to have 8 players on the Wii U version. You can play up to 8 people. That could be 8 GameCube controllers. That could be 1 gamepad and like 7 Wiimotes. That could be the gamepad and like the Pro controllers.
And the 3DS. And then
you can use up to, I think, 8 3DSs as long as you all are synced to a Wii U and you all have a copy of the game. Yeah. The other big thing, Ridley is not a playable character. So, Ridley is actually going to be in one of the stages. He's going to be an NPC that will actually attack you. He's going to be a boss on the stage. He's going to attack you, and you can attack him, and he'll actually join your side.
Yeah.
You can KO him and get points for that in, like, time stock or time, things like that. And he'll fight with you, he'll fight against you. So, it may not be what everyone was hoping it would be, but at least Ridley is still in the game.
Yeah, that's still pretty cool that you
So-
can make it fight for you.
Sorry, Smash fans, it's probably not going to happen. Let me see. Classic mode. Classic mode, if you play the 3DS version, you follow a path, and then you get to choose where you go on that, and then you fight, like, the opponent that's there.
Yes.
It's going to be different from this. Classic mode, you're going to be on, like, a table, and you're actually going to have a rival and challengers in it, and then
It's
you
really cool.
and then
Yeah.
you have to fight these groups of people, and the more you fight, the more points you get, the more rewards you win, and you have to beat your challenger, things like that. So it's a new spin on it, which is really cool. Let me see, Master Fortress Smash Tour. So, Amazon leaked earlier this week that they're going to have some kind of board game mode in Smash and the new one, and so they talked about it. Essentially, you're on this set track. It's got multiple tracks. It's like this giant circle. You've got rings inside of it that you can go to and from, and you play as a Mii. So when you do that, you have to go along and you collect different power-ups, like raise your speed, your strength, your arms.
Just like in
Special.
Smash Run.
Like in Smash Run. And so as you move along the path, you try and get more characters. And if you land on the same spot as another person playing, you fight each other. And whoever wins takes one of your characters. And at the end of the match, you fight, and essentially your fighters are your stock. So the more fighters you have, the greater chance you have of winning. So you fight with those fighters. How could we forget this one? Mewtwo is coming back. Mewtwo is going to come back. He's coming back in the spring. So, if you have the Nintendo 3DS game and the Wii U version, you get Mewtwo for free. If you only have one or the other, you'll be able to download him, but you'll have to pay a little bit. So that is all the main Super Smash news. Huge
Yes,
stuff.
Lots of stuff.
It's going to be great. Still coming out on November 21st. Go reserve it while you can. Go get the GameCube controllers. I need to pick some more up.
Yeah.
Especially if it's 8 players. My god.
Just bring your own controller games.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
1-8 players, bring your own controller.
Yeah.
bam. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
That being said, on to our super fight. Speaking
Super
of fighting.
fight. We have Bane from the DC Universe versus Beast, the X-Men from the Marvel Universe.
Yes.
Now, these are both very, very strong characters, very agile, very smart, pitted against each other. I know we had some people respond on our Facebook, so we'll go ahead and read those off first. I see you have them ready, John.
I am at the ready. JD Kite said, "This is like one of the hardest things ever. My favorite hero is one of my favorite villains, or verse one of my favorite villains, and I like them for the same reason. I hate to say it, because Hank is awesome, but Bane likely wins. He's not as burdened by morals. Also, as the villain, he's probably the instigator, which gives him the advantage of preparation."
Which I love the fact that he created a scenario for
Yep.
this. Because, like, when I originally thought of these, like, there's like, okay, cool. Just person in a room, they fight, who wins? And I love the fact that he went so in depth. It's like, well, Bane is a villain, so he would probably go after this. This would be the... Like, because Hank doesn't do that.
No, Hank
If Hank is there and has to fight, he will.
in the corner reading.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Hank's not going to go out and find. He's not going to actively look for
Yeah.
someone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And, like, I feel like even though, I mean, Bane is intelligent, like you were saying, there's a lot of misconception that Bane's stupid, but he never has been. He is intelligent, but I feel like Hank is intelligent and creative. I feel like it would be really close. Like, they would definitely destroy each other.
yeah.
But I feel like Hank would end up being the winner in the end, just because he always seems to pull out this thing at the last minute. It's like, oh, just do blah, 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 and then suddenly everything magically goes okay.
Yeah, no, my vote also lies with Hank. Just the agility, I think, would outweigh Bane's strength. Because Bane is really strong. And even when he does his Venom Serum, he gets really fast as well. But Beast is always at that.
Yeah.
So if he has a way, Bane would probably... Or not Bane, Beast would go away to either like cut the Venom injectors, depending on which Bane you're using. If he has like the big wires, then yeah, that's a given that Beast will win. But I don't know. I feel like Beast would be creative enough to try and kind of avoid the fight while the serum or the venom was inside of Bane, and then take his shots when he got the moment. But that's a personal thing. John, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know enough about these two, to be honest with you. I'm not huge on X-Men or actually Batman, for that matter. I'm trying to read through Batman Eternal, but
John just really
still
likes
progress.
Martian Manhunter.
I love Martian Manhunter. That's not the point, though. The point. I don't know. If Beast got on Bane's shoulders, though, would he be able to like grab on him, like literally throw him?
Yeah,
across
definitely.
I don't know then, because then it's gonna be tough to get this. Well, I don't know.
And I don't think you'd throw him. I think you'd smash him on the ground.
So are we doing this as they just are in a room and they fight?
Just put him in a room and fight.
America wins. America wins this one. So
But yeah, make sure you check in on our Facebooks on Friday. Make sure you post, comment, all of that fun stuff.
all right, fine. I'll say Beast. Fine, I'll say Beast. I think it's just gonna be too agile. Although I really want to say Bane, but I'll say Beast.
Okay.
There. Comment. We're gonna have a new one every Friday. If you have one that you want us to do, tell us. We'll do it. Just comment on it. Let us know who you think will win. And then we have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
We were also asked a question about Star Wars. Who brought balance to the Force? Was it Anakin Skywalker or was it Luke Skywalker? What do you guys think?
I think Anakin does, as much as it kills me to say that.
Why, Tessa?
Well, I think he does it. I can argue that it was twice, if not like a full, complete process, because the Jedi were really powerful and the Sith were really weak, and he broke down the Jedi and brought up the Sith, and then he ends up breaking down the Sith so that they're pretty much at the same level. He brings true balance to the Force on both sides. So, because he's the one who actually throws Emperor Palpatine into the core of the ship and kills him.
The giant pit that kills all Sith.
Exactly.
No.
The pit of Sith death, killing things. Yes.
Well, I will argue against you just for the sake of arguing. I think it's Luke, because without Luke being there, Vader would not have killed the Emperor, and the balance would not have been restored.
I honestly believe that it was Anakin, and as much as I hate to say it, the episodes 1, 2, and 3 were essential in really pushing the fact that Anakin was the one that brought balance to the Force. Because if you just watch 4, 5, and 6, yeah, it was Luke. Luke all the way. But if you see the backstory about how everything got built up, that he did bring down the Jedi, and then he did bring down the Sith, because he was the one that decided to put Palpatine in the hole, whereas Luke would have died.
Well, Luke was just asking him to stop the Emperor. He didn't ask him to kill him.
Exactly. And then he was like, no, this is what has to be done. And then he does. He brings balance to the Force.
Maybe it's both. Maybe they both restore it.
I don't think so. How about this? We let the viewers decide, John.
You break it.
Vote both.
No, don't vote both. Pick one.
Vote.
We'll set up a poll. We can do polls.
Yeah,
we'll set up a poll.
We can do both. Why can't there be an option?
It'll be an option. Both can be an option.
Both can be an option, Dan.
But it's really Anakin that brought balance to the Force.
Brought it back. Because then we're talking about balance of the Force, and you have to go back to Darth Revan and Knights of the Old Republic. So...
What does that have to do with him bringing balance to the Force?
Because you can bring balance to the Force in that game. You can either be bad and then kill all the Jedi, or you can be good.
I think we're going into what ifs again.
Oh, I know. I'm doing it to annoy Dan.
It's not working, John.
Bringing it back.
Alright, so that is our question. I think it's both. I think there's a valid point to be said for both. It was Han Solo.
Han Solo brought balance.
Han Solo did it. He did it. Han Solo. It was Harrison Ford with all his swagger.
With the candlestick in the Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Alright, well this episode, we just need to go, because this episode's a wash now. So, no Firefly jokes. So that being said, we're at 983 likes. We're very happy about that. We're very close to 1,000. Like we said, when we hit 1,000, we'll let you guys decide, relatively, what we do for that. as long as it's PG rated.
But we might actually do a poll for that too. If we get multiple people telling us what they would want to see, we might do a poll for that
Yeah.
and see what people want to see the most.
So thank you so much for that. Like our stuff, comment on it, share our page. I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna do something for next week's episode since it's Halloween. Even though by the time it debuts, it'll be past Halloween. We'll be filming it pretty much on Halloween.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So get ready for it. If you have anything for us, let us know. Send us a message. Comment on our wall. That being said, I think that's pretty much it.
Sounds good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us for episode 10 of Nerds in the Box. Is it really episode 10?
Yes.
It is. All right. Thank you for joining us for episode 10. Take care, everyone. I'm John Dwyer.
Dan Kiefer.
Tessa Barlotta.
We're Nerds in a Box. Good night, everyone.